open because we found out there were some audio things. But I do have good news for you guys watching along. Now, yesterday I talked to Johnny Congos on the podcast broadcast, as you guys, the OG streamers, know. And the audio levels were a little bit off. And after I got done talking with him on the podcast, we did a full-hour podcast together. And after I signed off online, Johnny and I talked for like another hour, right? Just catching up, talking about all different types of things. But he also gave me little tips and tricks with my audio levels here on the StreamYard so I could potentially play audio without it sounding bad and be able to do like live reactions and things like that. So I'm excited about that. Of course, you know, any of our streamers, let me know how things are sounding when we play video clips and audio clips and things before. So you guys are definitely our consultants when it comes to that. And I'm looking at you, Todd Marley. And so we're going to get into that. Please let me welcome back Emil, a.k.a. Boy Wonder, to the podcast broadcast, and back to the family. So Emil has been raising a toddler daughter and, was on the show initially during when we first started.
Yeah,
it was part of the rotation. Yeah. From day one.
Had to go and have a baby and just,
So did Mari. Mari had a baby, and it took a sabbatical as well. So, and then once the babies start becoming toddlers, start getting ready to go to preschool and school, then you're like, I got freedom again. Let's have some fun. Let's have some me time. It's all about this little shit, right, that I love so much. But then eventually, So we welcome him back, and this is a good way to start off because, we all partied before. I caught this video last night, caught my attention. Josh Wolfe is a hilarious stand-up comedian. I believe I've met him at the Improv before.
He used to be a pretty regular guy.
Yeah, and you'll recognize his face when you see him. He released a little comedy special, if you want to call it that. It's about 40 minutes. It's him high on mushrooms. It's titled doing a comedy show on mushrooms. And you have to see it to believe it, and it is fantastic. And we're going to react to it right now. And I'll give you just a second as these commercials run by. And this is exclusive on the podcast. So let's start off with this. He sets it up perfectly because basically what he does is he takes mushrooms right before he takes the stage. Then they kick in about 12 minutes into his set. And then there was nowhere to go. He was stuck there, right? So they say he was already super high, but stoned high, right?
Do I have water? Oh, this right here. Okay. Yep. I knew I left it up here somewhere.
All right, so we're going to kick into
Yeah, I forgot how to do that for a second. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This dude, all potatoes, no meat. Like, legit, his dick looked like it fell asleep on his nuts. Just.
Yeah, basically.
For real? Okay. I thought Jacob was sneaking up on me, but I'm going to sit over here.
I see it.
Any other questions?
Is there a follow-up to finding Jacob's decoy bomb?
Is there a follow-up to it? You mean, did I fall for it twice, dude? No follow-up because it happened one time, and I fell for it. But I'm not falling for. Plus, man, he's a grown-up now.
He's starting to trip.
He smokes. He might smoke more weed than I do. What's that? Yeah, man, I'm super proud of him. Not because of the weed. I'm just proud of him. Whoa. Does anybody have any other questions before I move on?
Did you fight any of your other sons?
Did I fight anybody? You know what? No, Jacob's the only one who ever challenged me. And we fought 3 times.
I know. So what you're seeing is like now he has to sit down. You know when you like you're on mushrooms and everything's so heavy.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
Yeah, and then immediately like he goes to grab water, and then his water starts tripping him out, and he starts spilling it all over the place.
Fucking hell. We fought twice since then. Hey, Jacob. You want to help tell this story? They want to know. They want to know about the last 2 times that we fought.
How's the levels now, Tom? So his son is a stand-up comedian as well. So his son's gonna come up on stage.
Oh, you bringing the guitar?
And he's gonna forget why his son's up there.
Just so you know, you should have brought that up maybe 10 minutes ago. Huh? Because I didn't want it.
So then why would I have brought it up?
This is what I'm asking you right now.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. let me recap on that conversation. I brought it out, and then you said you should have brought that out 10 minutes ago.
Dude, I'm so high. I was in the middle of a conversation that you and I never had.
I think you were in the middle of a conversation with yourself.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Why are you out here? Oh, I called you out here.
And he continues like that, you know. It gets super messy in trying to tell stories, but in a way, he cannot stop drinking water, and sitting down. And no matter how much his like son tries to save him, he just completely lost in this world. And Todd, let me know how the levels sound on both these real quick. Just in time for the commercial, huh? So yeah, that's a small example. I'll play another little clip of that where it gets super off the rails, but super funny and brave at the same time. You know, you do, like, a lot of people have the idea when they go, like, you know, to like a laser light show, like, you know, it'd be fun if I do mushrooms and go to this laser light show. And then you go there and you're like, I regret every decision I've made in my life.
God, very intimidating too. Like, it's overload. Especially being in front of a ton of people like that.
I know. Laughing.
Well, for being a comedian, you know, in front of audiences day after day after day, doing some of the same routines, they're like, I'm going to kick it up a notch.
Yes.
And try something new.
Right.
See if I can still get past this.
Exactly. It was a
he's like,
challenge.
"Oh."
And he found out,
The hard way.
no, it doesn't work like that. And so even with trying to go through some of his routine that he does like every single day, you're going to see that he kind of like trips over it, messes it up in all the funny ways. So yeah, it's super fun.
You got to keep your mental faculties there to like a certain extent to let this stuff land.
Yes, yeah. Well, especially with stand-up, because it's all about, you know, like, it's a science. The word economy, yeah, the setup, the punchline, and if you mess that up, you're gonna mess up the execution.
When you can't define what time is, you can't have timing.
Yeah,
Oh.
it is so funny too. So we're gonna continue this here after I do a little tease on the air. Rock 102.1 KFA. It's Beefing and Presents on the podcast broadcast. Our top story that we're starting off with is Josh Wolfe, the comedian who made the unfortunate mistake of doing mushrooms before a stand-up set, and it's hilarious, and it's too hot for radio, unfortunately. So we're doing it exclusively on the podcast broadcast. You want to see some of it? Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. But we have more coming up after Sleep Theory's latest single. Here's Fallout on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, so here he is, drunk, or not drunk. He just wants water.
By the way, guys, this is what I meant by I'm the parent on the road. I gotta get his shit together, make sure, you know, he's alive. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit I have to do. So the last 2 times we fought. We fought again when I was 19, and we put headgear on, boxing gloves in a ring. Freddie Prinze Jr. challenged me to a fight originally. And if you don't know about Freddie Prinze Jr., my man is a jiu-jitsu freak.
He also was a boxer, but can I tell
That
you,
too.
I didn't know how tiring boxing was.
It's hard.
So we're in the middle of a round, he and I.
After I already fought Freddie for 3 rounds, he wanted 3 rounds right after to try and have an advantage, like I was tired.
I'm like, it's like the middle of the first round. By the way, can I tell you, this is why when people are like, why do you get any tiptoes when you hug them? Because if I don't, it looks like we're slow dancing, for fuck's sakes.
So, come back, you're telling a story.
Oh, that's right. That's cool. Oh, yeah. So,
Do you need me to tell the story? Because I will.
no, I got it, dude.
3rd time's a charm.
I'm in here. We're about mid-first round. I had no idea boxing was going to be this exhausting. And I'm hugging him, and I go, dude, I think I'm going to throw up.
And I, come back, and I just pushed him away and punched him in the face.
Yeah, he did.
Guys, I had to point his mouth somewhere else if he was going to throw up. I didn't want to get thrown up on. That was a safety move. And then, so, you know, I won that round and that fight. Hey, dude, we're doing something.
Oh, okay.
Because you're swinging an open water bottle around.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to hide from them.
Stupid commercials.
Damn ads.
Damn ads. Get them every time. Yeah, but we'll play a little bit here, a little bit, about 30 seconds. How's the level sound now, Todd, and everybody watching on the stream, who you're able to hear that and us at the same time? Good morning, Carlos, Linz, everybody who's on the podcast broadcast stream. There's a couple of little highlights I'll share of that, but it's super funny that he would do that. And I've been in that situation. I was on mushrooms and introed at who did I introduce at McDowell Music Festival? Oh, it's fucking crazy. What's his name? He's basically like Lenny Kravitz, but like over 5,000 people. I'll explain. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast there. We're checking out Josh Wolfe doing stand-up while on mushrooms, which is not recommended. Public speaking in general on mushrooms, not recommended. Why did this catch my attention? Why did it pop up on my algorithm in YouTube? Maybe because I accidentally did the same thing one time. I introduced a band, I want to say Gary Clark Jr.
Gary Clark Jr.?
Yeah, Gary Clark Jr.
Yeah.
Super sexy dude, buzzworthy band. He's like Lenny Kravitz, right? So I am at McDowell Mountain Music Festival as a special guest and MC of McDowell Mountain Music Festival for the entire weekend. Sunday night, last night of the festival, and my friend was like, hey, you want to do some mushrooms? And I'm like, yeah, we're at a music festival. Let's do that. Completely ignoring the fact that I had responsibilities that day. Yeah, I technically had to work. What was my job? My job was to get on stage in front of a sold-out packed crowd at like Hens Park or whatever in downtown Phoenix and introduce the bands and also make announcements. Right? So right before I go on stage to do Gary Clark Jr., they're like, beef. Real quick, and I'm tripping my ass off. And they're like, we want you to announce the raffle. We're raffling off a guitar, and go back to the tent, and that's where you're gonna get the raffle tickets, and it's autographed guitar. And I'm like, got it, good, right? And I don't got it. I'm just done, right? It's like now you're making me actually do work where I have to remember important things. So I go up on stage, and immediately I'm walking up. The anxiety level's at 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Deep breaths, got my sunglasses on for no reason. It's kind of dark, like I'm the rock star. Have this, like, grin on my face, again, for no reason, like I'm one of the Joker's victims in the original Batman with Michael Keaton. Right? So I'm like, hey, what's going on, McDowell Mountain Music Festival? Make some noise. Right. So, okay, I'm in my element. I'm still, even though I'm freaking out internally, I've done this enough. I got a little bit of muscle memory.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could do this. So thank the previous bands, blah, 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 blah. And like, all right, just want to remind you that the McDowell Mountain Music Festival is raffling off an autographed guitar signed by every person who performed this weekend. And the proceeds will benefit this charity. It's like a children's hospital charity or something like that. So in my mind, I'm like, dude, you're killing it. I'm internalizing this. Like, I am telling myself as I'm speaking, we're good, dude. Yeah, you got this. And I'm like, all right, are you ready? Like, give it up. Oh, the blah, 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 the one and only Gary Clark Jr. Boom, big pop. When I get the applause, too, I feel it. Like, I feel their cheers on my skin. I got goosebumps. All my hair's up. I'm like, I'm levitating at this moment. Not only was I, like, high, but then feeling them kind of, like, scream back at me gave me a high and, like, an out-of-body experience in a way. So I'm walking off the stage feeling like 11, right? Just chilling. And Gary Clark Jr. walks by, fist bumps me. Without hesitation, boom. I fist bump Gary. He goes on, starts shredding and stuff like that. So I'm walking off stage like I'm the rock star. I'm like, yeah, I got the swagger and everything. And then off stage, as soon as I walk off, are two of the organizers with a concerned look on their face, and they're freaking out. And they're like, dude, beef, the guitar isn't autographed by everybody that performed at the festival, just people that performed today. And without hesitation, I go, well, that's okay. Nobody ever won an argument by saying, yeah, but the fat guy said. And then they just stop and they look at each other and they laugh. They're like, I guess you're right. And I stumbled off.
That's a smooth way to get past that.
Yeah.
Damn,
Like,
dude,
no one's going to take me
they
seriously.
don't care about me.
Yeah. I'm an idiot.
Like, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, I'm a big fat guy on stage. Hey, he said some wrong things.
Who's gonna believe the dummy?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then went into the crowd and proceeded to watch Gary Clark Jr. melt my face and everyone else around me. I could literally hear panties dropping all around me. You know, every now and then he would hit a note and you'd hear squeals in the audience. So yes, I pretty much did the same thing Josh did, but he did it a lot longer and it was a lot more intimate. And he had to go through a lot more. He had to actually entertain. I just had to be the guy on stage saying, get loud, and here's this guy, right? And then a raffle.
And get a fist bump.
Yep. But
Hell yeah.
I did it, and I don't recommend it. Right? Speaking of which, not only will we have Herb Stratford in studio here in just a little bit to give us a rundown of what's being released this weekend and what to watch out for, but we got music on the way from Green Day and Alien Ant Farm. But on the podcast broadcast, we'll continue to go down the rabbit hole with Josh Wolfe's High on Mushroom stand-up show. So join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Yeah, it's a 100% true story.
I don't know why that reminded me too. There's that famous story about Carlos Santana at the 79 Woodstock.
69.
69 Woodstock.
Yeah, he
My
was
bad.
on acid.
Yeah. But I think the story went like he didn't know he was going on with the band until like much later.
Yeah.
Much later, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're next. And they just dropped acid, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, uh-oh.
And proceeded to do like the most mind-melting.
Memorable,
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Damn. He thought it was a snake the whole time. His guitar.
It was normal and loud. The way you're low on the meter. Todd, tell me now what's going on with our stream, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting there. Again, I'm trying something new here, and we'll figure it out. But while we do that, let's get back to this train wreck. Let's see, hilarious waxing experience, a comedy club insights, tipping etiquette. Okay, back to High on Mushrooms. Let's go to High on Mushrooms and see what. Hold on a second.
Let's get a job first.
Yeah. So, well, you know what? You monetize the shit out of this. So, if you are going to get high on mushrooms and do a set and somewhat bomb, make sure you make a lot of money on YouTube.
This one's unopened.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy, if you heard me, never mind. You guys want to watch
Did you just take a water from somebody in the audience? Are you
No,
out of your...
she's a staff member, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
No, she's sitting right there.
Oh,
Can I tell you a story about how...
you guys can have this one. I trust you, I promise. I don't trust you.
It's not we don't trust you. It's probably just good policy not to
I mean, but I already
take
told them.
food from strangers.
I already
and
told
then
them I
eat
take
it.
drugs from strangers, though.
I know,
so-
you're fucking crazy.
Like I said, every drug dealer is a stranger until you meet them. Guys, like, make friends.
I will tell you, can I tell you my favorite thing about legal weed?
Everything?
Is that you don't have to go to your drug dealer's house and watch him play Call of Duty for 2 hours.
Yeah, facts.
Just give me my weed, Trevor! Wait a second, I'm a fucking...
You can't help yourself, too.
I can't wait to watch you try and open that. He gets super weak when he's high. So like opening a water bottle or a bag of chips is usually
The yawn is not good for somebody who's...
That means you're gonna get higher, which should be fun. Oh, he did it. Fucking round of applause for Josh Wolfe, ladies and gentlemen. Now, again, I will ask this question. I know the answer, but do you remember what we were talking about before you did the tip speech?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I remember that photo.
Again, for the second time in a row, getting your asshole waxed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how you jump into a butthole wax story. I don't know, like...
Well, it wasn't a jump in. We talked about it before,
Yeah,
but...
let's do something else.
Okay. You wanna take some questions from some people?
Yeah, I want to take some questions.
All right, y'all. You might have seen this online.
this
This
is
is the part in the show where we will open the floor to anybody who would like to ask a question. The only rule is that you have to raise your hand. My man, I will call on you first. Thank you.
Hey,
Those Fiji
Stab.
bottles are a challenge.
Hey, can you bring me up, like... a quesadilla? No.
What do you need?
Oh, hi. Hey, bowl of sausages. What did you say?
Now they're just messing with them.
Frosted Flakes, guys, I'm on mushrooms. I don't want any of that shit.
By the way, Bowl of Sausages, great name for a band.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd go see them at Coachella for sure.
Yeah. It sounds like a band from Portland. I'm not gonna lie.
With the kilt.
You think? Hold on. Let me go back to that. You think a band
just one moment
named
real quick.
Bowl Full of Sausages is an all-girl group?
Germany, whatever they are. They're really a local German band. They don't stray much out of that country for sure.
So
Bowl of Sausages sounds like people in Germany would be like, I'm fucking lining up for that, but I don't know.
So, like I said, we'll answer any question. Stories about each other, what it's like traveling with one another.
Just one
life
question we'll
advice.
react to.
I wouldn't recommend it. But the only thing we ask is that you raise your hand, and we'll get to you. If you just blurt it out, just gonna ignore you.
I want you all also to know. At this point, I'm pretty fucking high.
Are you good to play the guitar or no?
Oh, we're gonna find out.
That's a fun one. All right, we're gonna open the floor, my man. Go ahead, you were first.
What position were you in when they waxed your ass?
Now listen, I'm gonna show you, but I also want to tell you, not the voice I was expecting that was gonna come out of me. But I'm gonna show you.
You're gonna show them?
Oh, fuck yeah, he asked. He asked like I wasn't gonna show him, and I'm gonna fucking show you, dude.
That's all we're gonna do for now. So the Josh Wolfe, you guys see the whole thing. I'll put the link here.
I bet he's
in the
grateful
comments.
his son's a crutch though.
Oh,
Like what a good crutch to have for that
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
My God.
Saved his ass. Saved his ass for sure. 100%. And it was great. Emil, thank you for coming in, brother. We're going to get ready for Herb to jump in here, but we'll be seeing you again here soon.
Cool.
And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching stand-up
You're the
comedy
best,
with me.
Emil.
All right, so while we get Herb all set up, earlier this morning we attempted to do Rap GPT. We'll see how this sounded. Drunk Friend was the name of the song. Let me know what you think. Check it out. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I was thinking the other night, because I have this friend.
It's okay.
Yeah, just making sure. I'm left cleaning up like a PR star. I'm sorry, he's just a little bit drunk. Saying silly things got you in funk. He's a fun drunk, yeah, he's a clown, but sometimes far too calm. Okay, so that didn't work at all. And so we did a different thing today, which was our show open. And in case you missed that, check this out.
.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt. He's
Or don't forget, we are giving away the Honda Resort Casino Summer of Fun flyaway trip. This week, it's for Honolulu, Hawaii. So 8:10, I'm going to let you know what song you're listening for and so much more. Your morning morning's coming up after the latest from Ozzy, kicking things off with a little Metallica. Here's Fuel on Rock 102.1. KFMA. That was Ozzy Osbourne with Crack Cocaine. It's 6:18. Time for your morning moron. Let's do this. All right. So I guess the moral of the story, to start off the story, is if you're going to be a criminal, you don't want to be super lazy, you know? In fact, actually, here's a nice little, like, health hack for you. Say you're going to go to, like, a fast food restaurant. You know you're going to gorge, and you're probably going to get, like, the large size and all those extra calories. Get out of your car. Go inside and order. At least there's a couple extra steps there. Maybe it'll burn, like, 3 calories on the way there.
You do feel
3
less
calories
guilty.
out. Yeah.
It's like 3 French fries. Come on.
Right. And if you're going to rob a bank, then you got to go through the process of actually walking into the bank and, you know, physically being there. Now, of course, don't rob a bank, but definitely don't rob a bank through the drive-thru. Now, you saw this story the other day, Rico. Yeah. So, and of course, being a bank teller must be incredibly stressful, and being a robber or getting robbed at the same time got to make it even worse. But if you're being forced to jam a huge pile of cash into one of those small tubes that are sent out through the drive-thru, that's going to give you a panic attack. There was a 41-year-old man in Maine named Jason Arsenault, and he just pled guilty to robbing a bank through the drive-thru. And the bank is one of those vacuum tube systems.
I was hoping to.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
is great.
I will tell you what.
Rock 102.1
It is cool
KFMA.
to receive something and make deposits through the vacuum
Oh,
tube
it's
I
system.
miss
fast.
those.
I miss them so much.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to keep things organized. There's a lot of different moving pieces and stuff. And of course, we went down the rabbit hole just watching Josh Wolfe do stand up on mushrooms, which it was. I was like, we'll do a reaction. We're just watching.
Look like we're on mushrooms watching it.
It happens. It happens. You missed out there, Herb, but perfect timing. Good to have you back in podcast broadcast. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, now, of course, we got a lot of things to cover, and so we want to get into all that. But first, I guess we'll start things off with, I guess, a victory lap for you, my friend. Let's do that.
Are you ready for that?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, if you got the numbers,
I
then,
do. I do have the
Okay,
numbers.
so we did an over-under last week talking about the prediction of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie that came out. They were predicting very high numbers for the global box office.
Yeah, I think it was 440 they were predicting. Was that what they?
350.
Oh,
It was
350. I'm sorry,
yeah,
350.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and I just thought, you know, and I was thinking domestically if I could start off with some excuses, but, you know, yeah, so give me the rundown. What did they get domestically and what did they get globally?
So I just have global numbers in front of me, but basically the global ended up being 444 million.
Wow.
So you know, basically, you know, almost 100 million more than the estimate, which honestly shocked everyone. I don't think anyone, even those. To your credit, that everybody was like, "That's a big number," but you know, and then to blow through it, and so now through yesterday, it's at 550 million globally.
Damn.
So
yeah.
I mean, it's something like the 6th largest opening ever, and like the largest R-rated opening ever. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling how big this is. And I don't know if it's just like, you know, after maybe it was a master plan. Maybe Marvel dumped all this crap out there so they could come in and have Ryan Reynolds save the day. I don't know.
Marvel
Conspiracy theory.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, did you guys see it? Has everybody seen it?
Oh,
I have
yeah.
not.
Mari.
I know.
I know.
The one thing I'm
Small
most
children.
impressed about, too, is the fact the internet has been pretty, like, a good brotherhood about no spoilers on social media. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that many. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's surprising.
I mean,
That's true.
There are headlines saying, you know, spoilers ahead, so avoid. But I mean, yeah, you're right. A lot of times people just blurt it out, and that's what I was worried because my wife and my son didn't get to see it because I saw it early, and I'm like, we can't get in. There was no tickets available. I'm like, you guys, you're gonna have to avoid social media. But it hasn't been ruined, and that's good. That's a nice trend.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Let's have that trend
I
continue.
think, well, people know by now, especially if it's something that's like, you know, kind of coveted and celebrated. We haven't had a good popcorn movie Marvel release in a couple years. You know, I mean, they've all underperformed or fell flat to some extent. This is just a fun movie. This is a funny movie. Just as a comedy, it holds up. For, you know, a Marvel fan, it definitely delivers. And, you know, the Easter eggs and cameos in it.
So many cameos.
Make it super fun.
Yeah, so many good things. And I mean, and that's sort of, you know, it's interesting too to have that be so big. And then the other punch, the cross, was Robert Downey Jr. being announced as returning as as are the Russo brothers for 2 more Avengers movies. That's been very polemic, right? Right now, people are either hating it or loving it, right?
Yes.
So
And
very interesting.
I'm team love, to be honest with you. I think he'll do good, and if it's like a Tony Stark variant that turns into Doctor Doom, that's great.
Yeah.
Did you see how much he got paid?
Yeah.
$100 million.
Yeah.
$100 million is a guarantee, and I guarantee that Robert Downey Jr. has a back end deal as he normally would have, right?
Well, and I don't know if you saw the perks, but he has like a private jet, a private security team, a private video RV village.
He is Tony Stark.
So he's gonna have like his
Tony
whole
Stark.
family with him, his dogs. I mean, I think I love it because I'm sure Kevin Feige went to him and said, at the depths of their despair, right, pre-Deadpool, obviously, and was like, "Holy crap, will you come back?" And he's like, "Get out your checkbook."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's not gonna help Feige win the argument of who is the Marvel universe because Downey Jr. and I don't think he's that much of a megalomaniac. Everyone likes Robert Downey Jr., but he could easily really lean into the villain role in real life and be like, "You wouldn't even have this universe if it wasn't for me." I
He
am
could have said
Iron
that
Man.
so many times already too. He
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
had. I mean, it just is what it is. He doesn't
in
have
a
to say it.
subtle way. Yeah. I mean, he's not braggadocious.
He says it
about
without saying it,
Right.
Yeah.
But he has that attitude that it's
I'm
just
untouchable.
And he is, and he is like, who's the boss now? And I guarantee you, Kevin Feige's not winning any argument of Robert Downey Jr. If they have a tussle, he's like, I want this, and Feige's like, no, you can't have this. I'm the boss. You do it. No, what'd you say? And I'm looking at my hands like this. But the point is, Robert Downey Jr. has the upper hand in this conversation now, and especially with the negotiating to come in and clean up the mess that was the Kang Dynasty.
And honestly, I feel like if anything good comes out of this multiverse mess, it's the fact that we get Downey to come back, because losing Downey at the end of the Avengers, spoiler alert, was really a bitter pill to swallow. And it was like, okay, well, maybe he can come back as a variant. This is pretty smart. Because he is because we all know the Fantastic Four is a different universe, all that stuff. X-Men's a different universe. So if that gets all these products into one universe, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Which begs, if you want to highlight what Manny just said in the comments, nobody cared that Josh Brolin was Thanos and Cable. That's a nerd
true.
debate. Well, there's contention with that because at the same time, Cable was owned by Fox when there was Fox before Disney got bought out. So it's actually two different entire universes. And this one is a beloved character under the same umbrella.
Yes.
So it's kind of...
And Avengers.
But it is comic book world, so there's always a right around.
And I would say too that and I'm a huge my 2 jams when I was growing up was X-Men and Fantastic Four, right? So I have in my comic books I have some nice older versions of all that stuff that I've kept. So for me, the greatest regret I have for Marvel, and it's not really their fault because I haven't done it, current Marvel hasn't done it, but the Fantastic Four movies were always such garbage. They were just terrible, and I hate Miles Teller. That's a whole other conversation. but the whole point that Fantastic Four is just it's such a great property, and the fact that I feel like we're finally going to get something that is worthy of that is just so exciting. And Dr. Doom has been part of that, has never been played well. And so to have Downey step in, I'm like, I'm there. Because that Dr. Doom will somehow be involved in the Fantastic Four. So eventually, first we're doing Silver Surfer and Galactus. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things to be excited about. And it's really the tip of the iceberg of our conversation that we're going to have with Herb Stratford. So we're going to keep it moving on the podcast broadcast. But when we come back, a couple exciting things that are coming to your streaming networks like Netflix. So we're going to be talking about that with Herb and also checking out the trailers on the podcast broadcast. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan or keep it right here in Rock 102.1. All right, let me ask you this. You don't have Trap in your list.
because it's not. I thought it was next week.
Is it next week?
I've got it for the 9th.
When is Trap?
Oh, okay.
Trap's
Trap is
the
that.
new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, yeah, I'm
With
stoked for
Kyle
that.
Chandler, and he's like a serial killer at a Taylor Swift concert.
See, people thought they were so clever with that first trailer, too, thinking it's going to be a flip around where he's actually not the serial killer.
Yeah.
But then the new trailer came out, you're like, oh, there's no doubt in my mind. This guy's the baddie. So it's like, what's the twist now?
I've not seen the new. Well, that's the thing, too. So I was talking about this with a friend because, they're excited to see it. And it's very interesting because, they have to reveal in this movie that Josh, or what's his name?
Hartnett?
Yeah, Hartnett is the serial killer within the first 15 minutes of this movie. You can't do a big setup of whatever. So the mystery's gone because in 2 trailers now, they literally say this is the premise and this is why and this is the guy. So, and it's a movie that clocks in over 2 hours, I believe. It's 2.5 hours.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It's long.
Oh, wow.
So it can't be the mystery of, who are they looking for? That has to be established immediately in the movie, because if it's anything past 15 minutes, you're going to be like, fucking boring, bro. I already know. I know, right?
But, it's M. Night Shyamalan, so, I mean, there's something. There's something going on.
Okay.
Right? It's like, I think this is his next level game where he's like, oh, you think I'm the surprise guy? Well, here's the surprise. Or is it?
No surprise.
That's
That is
what I
very
think.
true.
That's what I think he's doing.
All right,
It's going more Hitchcock.
Let's do this for Friday morning. Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan Presents. Joining us in studio, very special guest. He's a world-renowned film critic, according to his wife. That's what he's been telling his wife for years. We got the one, the only, Herb Stratford. Good morning, Herb.
Good morning. Good morning.
Look, I know that you're a Zack Snyder fan. Have you always been a Zack Snyder fan? or no?
Here's the thing. I do like Zack Snyder, some of Zack Snyder's work. I've interviewed Zack Snyder and his wife once, and he was a very, very nice guy.
Name drop,
So I know. I'm just saying that the cult around Zack. I'm not a cult fanboy, but I think some of the things he's done, I'm like, yep, I get it. I like it. I think he has a certain genre that he's very good at.
Oh, all right. And, he has a big project that's dropping on Netflix here. And is he in his realm?
So here's the thing. This is really a remix because do you guys remember about 6 months ago, there was a thing called Rebel Moon?
Yes.
And you remember the idea of this was he went to Kathy Kennedy and all the folks at Lucasfilm over at Disney, and he said, I've got a Star Wars movie, standalone Star Wars movie, not any existing characters, but it's in the Star Wars universe. And they said, go away. And so basically he said, oh, really? He thought he was like going to get, because they were handing out Star Wars movies like candy to people, right? So he thought he was going to get one. He didn't get one. He was like, fine, F you. And he went off and he made his own movie. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it came out about 6 months ago. It's 2 parts. And basically, it's sort of underperformed. I think collectively the world just sort of yawned and went, okay.
See, which you're hearing the audible reaction to Mari watching the trailer in the background.
Oh
Well,
dear.
obviously you can't see on the radio, but yeah, a lot of graphics, a lot of bloodshed.
Visually stunning, right? I mean, he's always
good
a
at that.
master at visual stuff, right? So, but
I'm not showing any more, Mari.
Oh, whoa.
It's taking you out of what the words are coming out of her mouth.
I can't focus on anything else.
So basically, I think, and I'm wondering about this. I'm wondering if part of his deal with Netflix, because Netflix released Rebel Moon, I'm wondering if it's part of his deal with them was, you know what? You're known for the Snyder Cut, right? Which is always this is what I really meant it to look like, right? And the studio made me do this.
Ooh.
I wonder if that was part of his deal where they're like, hey, 6 months later, we'll release another version so we get another bump in our subscribers, or we'll get people to re-up because they're like, oh, wait, there's more footage? I want to sign back up.
That's ridiculous, though.
It's a cash grab.
Yeah.
So there is new footage, but this is basically, I just think it's sort of suspicious because Zack Snyder doesn't have a studio's executive saying cut. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
He
He's top
already,
tier.
Netflix is like famous for giving them kind of creative control, right?
Yep,
Just
yep.
like do what you got to do. So he did. He released his best version, and then they're like, then give your director's cut.
Yeah.
Which the first one was the director's cut.
Exactly.
And there is
Exactly.
no run times that you have to be concerned about because they weren't going for a theatrical release.
Yep.
He could have made it 40 hours,
Yep.
right?
He's running the coattails of the previous debacle with the Superman Batman
Yes,
thing. So
he
it's like
is.
he's now the guy. Like they didn't let me do my thing.
Yeah, and
So here I come again.
So Herb's 100% right on this. This is a gimmick, and basically make a guy do extra work on the same thing. And there's no guarantee. I would guarantee that the first one's going to be better than the second one. 'Cause the only argument for the Superman movie was that Warner Brothers had their hands in it so much.
Well, but also it was Joss Whedon, right? So Joss Whedon screwed up because, again, in fairness,
Zack had to step
left
away.
because his daughter died and he had to step away.
Yeah.
So that
And
was
that's fair.
illegitimate. But I will say, just all of a sudden, like everything this guy does now is going to have a Snyder cut. I mean,
Yeah,
that's fanboy service.
new
That's a
vernacular.
cash grab. This is not going to be, sometimes Netflix releases stuff and immediately goes to the top of their streaming list. I don't think that's going to happen with this. I think this is this is an acquired taste. because I watched the first. I don't think I even watched the second movie. I watched the first movie. I think I fell asleep.
Oh.
So I mean,
so it must have been super late for you, like 5 in the afternoon.
That's a herb burn.
I'm just saying. I don't know if I want to commit to it again. You know what I mean? That's just like you have to really be deep into the genre to be like, oh, I will see it again. So,
yeah. All right. That's fair, and I'm kind of there with you. What they need to do is allow me to edit up and cut Zack Snyder's next film, really butcher it, so people can appreciate and love the Snyder cut. Right?
Like a bunch of gifs on there.
The beef cut.
Yeah, the beef cut will come in. Nothing will make sense. It'll be like 17 minutes long.
It'll just be boobs and, whatever.
Yeah. I'm just leaving all the close-ups of boobs and butts, and we'll release that. Boop. 3 months later, we'll be like, here's how the movie was supposed to be. All the stream.
They're like, this guy's doing gangbusters. Like, it's killing it.
All right, well,
where's his deal?
I mean, obviously, the weekend still kind of belongs to Deadpool and Wolverine. So, I'm sure there's going to be tickets available for that and people going to watch it for a second or third time. And that's why there's no big movie releases happening this weekend. But next weekend, we'll be talking about Trap with Josh Hartnett, right?
We'll be talking about Trap. We'll be talking about Borderlands based on the video game. We'll be talking about the Umbrella Academy Season 4 final season, which is so great.
A lot of stuff to look forward to. Herb Stratford, thank you so much, everybody. We're going to hit the reset. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. I said everybody. I'll edit that out.
I like it.
Oh, thank you. See, well, you're just the most positive person in the world, though. I
Show the footage again. Make her go, ooh, ah.
Yeah.
That was gnarly, though. Did you see that?
Well, yeah, I did, but I'm like, Maury.
It's gnarly, but it's like they show the best parts.
Oh, so like the rest of it's all boring. It's all like the really intense
and it's just sort of the same story you've seen before. Like somebody, is some Luke Skywalker type characters fighting against an evil empire. It's just we've seen it before. We don't, and that's why Lucasfilm passed. They're like, we don't need that.
We're gonna make the Acolyte.
Yeah.
And Skeleton Crew, and and everything.
Oh, they have
else.
that many more coming out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we got about a minute before we get on the air here. So, I guess we'll just have Maury react to this trailer a little bit.
What is this?
Maury reacts.
No, the same one. I'll just show you some more oohs and ahs. Here we go.
Yep.
Ready? Go, Maury. I gotta see your face though.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Well, you see the blood.
Yeah, there's blood.
Oh my God, the head.
Yeah, it's a robot head.
Was it? There was blood.
Oh, there's sex.
Oh.
Snyder cut. That would have been my cut. Like,
Wait,
yeah.
robots have blood though, or is it oil?
In the Snyderverse, they do.
Kids. Zack Snyder's true vision. Shut the fuck up. You guys, that's crazy, dude. That is
what he
too funny.
really wanted.
Yeah, that is so funny, dude. That's the way they're hyping it up.
Nobody is stopping Zack Snyder from doing anything.
Yeah.
Literally, ever, anywhere.
It's what he really wanted, even though he did that. But he means it this time. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to BV Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast. As there, we're reacting to trailers and new releases that Herb is bringing to our attention. He's got a couple sappy ones here. Why don't we start off with a Kneecap?
All right, so Kneecap is in theaters, and this is set in Ireland in 2019, and it's about Irish rappers.
Oh, I'm in.
So, all right.
The trailer's ridiculous.
I'm already in.
Yeah? So this is, basically a sort of a disillusioned music teacher and a couple of kids who sort of have low self-opinions. I believe they call themselves low-life scum.
Okay.
And they decide they want to be rappers, and they do it. And, it's funny, for me, I didn't know there was a big Irish rap scene, but
yes, there
there's a
is.
big
Really?
one. So this
Yes.
is cool to see this story brought out, and it's 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Damn.
So go figure. Like, and it's fun to see these. I always love a good music film where they're just like showing the real world, right? It's not a doc about Beyonce or something, right? It's like this is like people who really they're passionate about it, and they're not they don't have 25 dancers behind them. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're just like we do this because we love it, and it doesn't even matter if we're wildly successful. We're just passionate.
Right,
So-
yeah. In it, you'll see a movie about the real world, but you won't see the real Slim Shady. So,
Yeah.
but it's obviously, Ireland and a lot of the world, inspired by Eminem, dude. Like,
he was
set it all off.
he was the white rapper, and it made it safe for all these guys to do it. And I mean,
Safe.
a
Yes,
lot of the Irish, feel like they are sort of a second class, right?
Yeah.
To Europe. So I mean, it's not like an African American experience, but you know what I'm saying? They feel downtrodden, and so they have a voice, and this is the way they found their voice because not all Irish music is U2.
Yeah, well, thank God for that, right? And I'm actually excited to check out this trailer, see what that's
It's like
all
the
about.
Gaelic 8 Mile.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you watched the trailer, huh, Rico?
Yeah, it was impressive. It kind of reminded me like a throwback movie, like Train Spotting style.
Yes.
Like Danny Boyle style.
Yeah, so it kind of
Looks
has
good.
that indie movie kind of vibe, like storytelling vibe, but the cinematography and everything looks good on
And it's
it.
got Fassbender
it
with an
does.
accent.
Yeah.
And anything
Can you
he's
understand
in,
them?
Frankly, I mean, it takes a little getting used to it. And you know what? Frankly, I've been putting the subtitles on lately.
yeah.
That's good.
It's easier to catch stuff. You know what I mean?
I put on
So-
subtitles
I
too,
love
and I
them.
count that as books.
Yes.
So when it asks, like, you read books? Yeah, absolutely. I
But,
read
you know,
Narcos.
Rico, you just mentioned something I want to touch on. They just wrapped filming 28 Years Later, which is the sequel
yeah.
to 28 Days Later.
Really?
So very excited to see how that plays
Has it
out.
literally been 28 years since that first movie?
I think it has been.
My
I
lord.
think it has been, and that's why they're doing it.
It has not. It's not.
No, I
been.
know, close to
It
it,
didn't
though.
come
It's
out in
been a while.
'96, and that would have came out in '96.
Let's
I
look it
know.
up.
Okay,
Came out
let's
in like
It came out in
2000.
2000.
Look it up.
Mario, look it
2000.
up.
All right, here we go.
28 days later.
That's right. So, I'm saying it came out in the 2000s. Let me try to guess
It's
the year.
2000.
Guess a year.
It's 2000.
Did you see it?
I did.
Oh, you know the answer?
I know
Okay.
the answer, but you guess.
All right, so first off, just for the record, I'm already right.
Okay.
Do you have
I'm
it
gonna
up?
say, I'm gonna say it was 2008.
Okay.
No.
What's yours?
Damn it.
I say 2000. 2000.
Okay.
No,
Final answer?
2002.
Bing, ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
Well, you're pointing to both of us.
No, he is right.
Oh no!
2002.
I was like,
you
post
just look at what you
9/11.
just did in the
Yeah, I want to
replay.
give
You
you
did.
like some like
Positive
it's okay that
affirmation.
you lost, but he's right.
No, but you can't do that. You can't say like you're the winner. You know
Let
what I
her
mean?
ding, ding, ding me all she wants. Okay,
I
thank
don't want to
you.
disappoint you.
Okay, first off, it was a guess after mine after we narrowed it down. So take that with an asterisk.
And I am
can have
wrong.
one ding.
I am wrong, but 96 to 2002 is not that big of a leap.
of a
No, I know. It was close, but not 20. I mean,
It's
that's
20
fine.
years
It's a
ago.
movie.
20 years
It's
ago.
in
Shallow and
obviously,
pedantic.
the storyline will be 28 years later, and
Yeah.
that sounds cool. And
Yeah.
apparently, zombies still run the world. So,
Yeah.
interesting.
Anyway.
Okay, all right. So, they greenlit that, but the last thing that you're excited about is the Elizabeth Taylor documentary.
So you're gonna make fun of me, I know. Because
let
Well,
me
you
say
guys dated.
Before I make fun of you, yeah, guys. Wasn't she weren't you her babysitter? All right, so I flipped it around. She was at one point one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Yes.
Obviously the most famous woman in the world. And she was notorious for many different things, good and bad. So the story behind Elizabeth Taylor could be pretty interesting, especially if they find homemade love tapes. Yeah.
always back to the sex. So here's the thing. I think there's a really interesting thing happening, and maybe it's because there's boomers and people sort of aging out. But there's been a lot of documentaries about sort of the golden age of Hollywood, right? So
Yeah.
you had the Rock Hudson, All That Heaven Will Allow, that came out a little while ago. There's sort of some nice things re-looking at people. Their history, maybe partially because a lot of the people that are dead, so they can talk about them freely, right? But this is a really interesting documentary. The premise, this is built around a spine of some audio tapes that were made starting in 1964 for a book project, and so they've never been released. And so it's her voice, it's her talking about her story, her history. There was a great Marlon Brando one a couple years ago that was the same kind of thing where it was these interviews with Brando that were just brilliant.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's cool because it's not just these audio tapes. They actually then use that as a launching off pad to tell you her whole story. And it's fascinating. She was, her parents didn't want her to be an actress. And she sort of fell in love with the movies and started hanging around the studio, got signed to an MGM contract. Never really thought that she was a great actress, but she sort of was in the right place, the right time, and she was just beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so basically it goes through her whole history. And what I also like about this is they dive deep onto some of the movies like, Cleopatra, which is the movie she made with Richard Burton that almost bankrupted 20th Century Fox. And, she was married 7 times, twice to Burton.
Yep.
So there's all this tabloid stuff before there was tabloids, right?
Yeah.
But also they don't go into a lot. It's very, very late. Maybe the last 10 minutes of the movie, they talk about her alcohol problems and, AMFAR, all the AIDS research she funded, which is really important to, getting because of Rock Hudson. She held the first fundraiser in honor of Rock Hudson after he died.
Well, that's nice.
That sort of made everything okay because somebody in the industry stood up and said, this is wrong. We've got to do something to stop. And then, of course, Elton John's Foundation and things like that. So it's a really great look at old Hollywood, lots of old footage, behind the scenes stuff. And when you look at it, you just remember they don't make people like this anymore. You know what I mean? Like they don't make, and granted, the studio system was sort of like slavery, but not really slavery, but you know what I'm saying? They were indentured servants. But,
I'm sure at some point. Yeah.
But, you know, but she was just a movie star, right? Like the world stopped when she showed up. I mean, for good or better or worse, it's just we don't have movie stars like that anymore. So it's just really interesting to see this golden age of Hollywood. And she was just gorgeous.
She was.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you see pictures of young Liz Taylor, then you get it. You know, I mean, it's crazy, too, because when I grew up, you know, she was already, at that point, like a senior citizen and, you know, an alcoholic. So that kind of took its toll. So I never saw the appeal.
Yeah, do you want to see? Do you know the first time I saw Elizabeth Taylor?
Sure.
Was in the Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, who's that pretty old lady? Like, that's Elizabeth Taylor.
Current day me, 10 out of 10 would still do it, but at the same time, as a kid, yeah, she was just a grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so excellent as always, Herb. So we're gonna keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. There, I got a couple stories to share with Herb that has to do about releases that we could geek out about. Then we'll wrap things up with the beef tip after these words. Clear. Yeah. So that was
Her daughter. Who's Liza Minnelli's mom?
Judy Garland.
Judy Garland, the other starlet. Okay.
Yes.
The other person that
The
was
other
tossed
one.
and thrown away by
Yep.
Hollywood.
Yes.
It's pretty though.
Yeah, Judy Garland. That story.
She's
is
talented.
Just
She was young.
tragic.
Yeah, Judy Garland's
They were
bad.
they were feeding her drugs, and oh my God, it was just you're not skinny enough. I mean, they
Right.
abused Judy Garland. Liz avoided a lot of that.
Mhm.
So- but
I
you know,
hear
Liz
this.
got married at like 18, which is really young.
That's young.
Yeah, and then married.
Yeah.
And the Kennedys thought she was a bad lay, I think, or
No,
something.
that's Marilyn.
Oh yeah.
Who was Mommy Dearest though?
That's Joan Crawford.
Yes.
Got
All right.
all the bases covered.
Yeah, there you go.
All the abused. Perfect.
All right. Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's time to turn the table since I got Herb Stratford in studio. I want to tell you some movie news that I came across
Okay.
that I think is kind of exciting.
All
It's
right.
not about releases that are happening this weekend, but there are some things like about Jason Reitman's next film.
Saturday Night Live, or Saturday Night is now, it's called Saturday Night, yes.
Absolutely.
It's about the lead up to the first show of Saturday Night Live in 1975, which I remember watching.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
75.
Yeah.
Well, this will be an interesting one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is awesome. The cast seems amazing, and yeah, so Herb knows more about it than me. He's titling it Saturday Night, and they announced that it is going to be released on October 11th, and that date has significance because that was the debut of Saturday Night Live in 1975. This is all leading into the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. So you're going to be able to see a cast that includes Gabriel LaBelle as Lauren Michaels, young Lauren Michaels, maybe high on cocaine Lauren Michaels.
Yep.
Probably.
Were they all on cocaine
Yep.
at that
Oh,
time?
yeah, the first couple years it was just...
On the show,
yeah.
even. Just
Yeah.
like doing lines on the
Really?
ground. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So,
Who do they got as Belushi?
let's see. Who do they have as Belushi? I do not know. They do have someone playing Jim Henson, though. Jim Henson was an important part of Saturday Night Live at the very
A
beginning.
lot of people don't know that, and if you watch the Jim Henson documentary, it does talk about how he was a part of that. And if you watch some of those early episodes, there are Muppets in it, and you're like, what are Muppets doing on Saturday Night Live? It's very weird.
But again, cocaine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you had a
Allow me to
question-
reiterate.
Uh-huh. And you're like, yeah. You just imagine they're just like 4 in the morning. What are we going to do to punch up this sketch? That's Muppets? Yeah, Muppets.
I
Yeah.
just want to see the green room with Kermit just sprawled across the floor and just lines everywhere.
Yes.
Now let's get back to work, guys.
All right, so that I'm excited about that though, and I'm
Yeah.
look forward to seeing the trailer for it as well, and the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, which should be a huge one. Of course, just 10 years ago they did the 40th anniversary, and they had that big special on NBC, and I know they're planning on making it bigger and better of all the people
Yeah,
who
50 is
aren't
50.
That aren't dead or canceled
Well,
to be able to show up for this.
50 years. I mean, that's staggering.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and granted, Lauren was only away from it like 2 or 3 years. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a run. I think
It was 5 years actually. I think.
look for him to step
Really?
down after this season. I think.
Well,
Really?
I've been hearing both reports of him kind of like teeter-tottering on this. Like this might not be his last season. And honestly, when you get to that age and you're still feeling sharp, but then you realize that it's this kind of like a routine and creativity that's keeping you sharp, you don't want to let go of that just to retire and wither.
Well, although he does have a big producing, you know what I mean? Like he produces all the stuff that his former cast members, he produces loot for Maya Rudolph. He produces anything Kristen Wiig or Andy Samberg does. So he's still in the movie business. But you're right. It's that day-to-day TV thing that, he would miss.
Yeah,
So
the hustle
Yeah, it's his life, man.
I don't know who replaces him. I mean, there's been a wild rumor about, Tina Fey comes in
Yeah.
or Amy Poehler or, somebody who has the juice, but you don't push the king off the throne.
Would it be interesting that it would be Tina Fey, considering she basically played the role of Lorne Michaels in 30 Rock?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Would make sense.
She auditioned.
Yeah, so maybe she just kind of put it out there in the universe. Well, here's something that would get Rico excited, and as if his pants weren't tight enough. Ridley Scott boasts of bigger action, or the biggest action sequence he's ever done in Gladiator 2.
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
No, Ridley Scott's. I'm a fanboy from his older stuff, but now it's just like hit or miss. It's almost like Lucas or Spielberg slapping their name on the producer thing and taking all the credit kind of thing.
Okay, well,
He doesn't have the hunger.
But he directed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also directed a lot of.
I know.
Okay,
but the trailers. I don't know. For my money, the trailers. I was not excited at all when I heard it announced, and the trailer. I'm like, yep. I mean, I know you hated the music in the trailer. I know you.
Yeah.
Hated
I'm
it.
past. I can separate that from the actual
all
movie
right.
itself. I'm saying it's goofy, knowing the modern day promotions.
Yeah.
I will see it. Don't get me wrong. I will see it. I absolutely
on
will
the
see
advanced
it.
screening, and I will
And
drive
I
the
will
Phoenix
dress
to do
as a
it.
gladiator.
Yes.
I will dress as Maximus.
Yes, you will dress up completely.
I do have hope. I'm not going to slam it. I haven't obviously seen it. It's just one of those things where an iconic standalone piece of film didn't really justify having a secondary one, but I don't know.
Okay, so what about Alien Romulus? Are you interested in that?
Because the director, what's his name?
Fede Alvarez.
Alvarez, because it's a Mexican director and they somehow do magic.
Okay.
They do.
Well, look at the trailer. I mean, it's back to the original.
Back to the
It's
analog
back
sort
to
of
that scary, claustrophobic haunted house in space.
Yep.
That's what Alien.
And all I
was.
said, all you needed is a good sci-fi movies to have the analog beep bop boops on the buttons.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
you need
70s.
the beep bop boops.
You need the beep bop boop buttons and the
Yeah.
big computer with that writing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's going to be gold. So
Yeah.
I have hopes for that, but I won't be surprised if I'm disappointed either. But
All right, that's fair. Well, Gladiator 2, with the biggest action sequence that Ridley Scott has ever done, will drop in theaters on November 22nd. All right, well, that's a turnabout. I hope that's fair
Yes,
play.
it is. It is.
anyway, there's a lot of action, Rico. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know. I tried to get you excited. As a friend, I was just like, you're going to love to hear this. And you're just like, I don't.
Mongo like explosions.
That trombone.
It's Rock 102.1. All right, let's see.
Is that on the radio?
No, that was recorded for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Magical
Tomorrow's
radio. Magical radio.
Imagination. The more you know.
Yes, and so we got about 48 seconds to get into a beef tip. And if you want to stick around, Herb, just for a minute, what's your schedule look like? How you looking? If
Yeah,
not,
I can stick around for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, good, because what we're doing here is we're ranking things: gold, silver,
yes.
bronze.
Wait, didn't Ridley Scott also do Napoleon recently?
Yes.
Was that him? He's
Yes.
telling me the Battle of Waterloo there's a bigger battle in Gladiator than Waterloo?
Yeah, that was a huge battle too, is what I hear. Did that suck?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Kingdom of
That's
Heaven.
fantastic. Yeah.
Napoleon, you mean? Yeah, Napoleon. Yeah, no.
Speaking of which, I did get an email from a guy that wants us to recreate Napoleon Dynamite. You might know him, Herb. He emailed me. I'll tell you here in a second.
He wants me to be Uncle Rico?
You should be Uncle Rico.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why we would think cast you like that, but Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. All right, we're gonna wrap up the show here, but the podcast broadcast will still be rolling for a couple minutes. And before we leave you, I'd like to give you a beef tip. It's been a couple days, so I'll leave you with this: how to take the perfect power nap.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's important, right? Naps are awesome. But there's a way to do it, and Dr. Amy Corwin, who is a pulmonologist at Hartford Healthcare Medical Group in Connecticut, is sharing advice on how to do this. So if you want to prolong your day, be as active and proactive as possible, you need to kind of get that little break in between to recharge. So here's how to take the perfect power nap. First and foremost, keep it short. 20 minutes is optimal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the recharge. You go all the way up to F, full, with 20 minutes. Anything more than that, you're going to be groggy, dragging ass the rest of the day.
Yes.
Right? She says sleep on the couch, not the bed. Especially if your bed's comfortable. You take that power nap, the next thing you wake up, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, how to take the perfect power nap. Pick the right time of day for your power nap. For most people, it's between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. That's also like
Gold.
my optimal, power nap time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's when the caffeine wears off and right before you have to start all over again. So those 3 tips will perfect the power nap for you, and that's my beef tip as well. Herb Stratford, thank you so much for coming in, as always. Yeah. Mari, always a pleasure. Tomorrow morning, Rico, Herb, and Mari will be hanging out with us, and we'll continue to give away tickets for Wage War. And on our podcast broadcast, we're talking Comic-Con. Got special guest Carrie telling us all the guests that's coming to Tucson Comic-Con. And we also have Jamie Joe, who's hosting a panel for The Walking Dead. It's going to be at Comic-Con. They're both going to be in the podcast broadcast. That's tomorrow morning. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. Clear. All right, so am I getting that email? Okay, so I'll read this email real quick before we do this, because see if you know this guy. Let's see, his name is JT. Okay, so there's a Napoleon Dynamite watch-along.
Yes, I saw John Heater announced it on Instagram yesterday.
Yeah, so it looks like it's official email, too. So JT wrote, and this watch along. So I thought this was like something associated with you, because obviously you're like a King Napoleon Dynamite around here. But he's been chuckling nonstop at the drive-through sauce saga. I swear you got the secret sauce for storytelling beef. So he started off with a strong compliment.
Nice.
And I'm like,
sauce and beef in the same sentence.
Yeah. I'm like, JT, you got my attention, and whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. He says, part of the ongoing 20th anniversary celebration and the release of Napoleon Dynamite, we're hosting a virtual watch-along screening of the film. And are they doing that with you, though, right?
No, they're in person with me in Montana. Yeah.
Thank you.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But thank you for, reacting the way I felt.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. So, they're doing that with everybody, John and Efron and everything. It's first of a kind. Fans below, blah, 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 blah. Followed by this portion. We're looking for Napoleon Dynamite fans to produce their own versions of iconic scenes and bits from the film. We will provide some copy tags and a slide of event info. And at the end of your post, feel free to pull clips, quotes, and music from the internet. So it's something we could do, right?
That sounds cool, but not as cool as having escargot with the producers. But hey,
yeah, I know. Well, let's say we film one. You're Uncle Rico, right? I guess I could be. I could attempt to do Napoleon. Herb could be the grandma.
Oh.
Damn.
I want to be Tina the llama.
Stupid lord.
But yeah, so below is some challenge suggestions. We also discussed payment for content creation and posts. Let us know if you're interested. Oh, so they might. They
I
might
will
pay
throw
us.
a football clear over that mountain for that paycheck.
Yeah. So they may pay us. I'll forward it to both of you, and we can figure something out.
Yeah,
Okay? All right.
yeah. No, I'm down for sure.
He wants to be.
Yeah.
We'll make you the llama. This will happen. If you want it to happen, we'll make the llama happen.
I could be the old farmer guy.
I love all of this.
I know.
Yes.
I meant to bring it up earlier, but obviously that didn't happen. I meant to bring it up Tuesday, but I'll email them back.
That's
I'll forward
funny.
you guys the email, and we'll do something fun with that.
Yeah,
and
totally.
maybe even make some money too. So, all right. With that though, and I have no idea then if he's not, if he didn't get wind of us through you, then.
Well, he might have got. Well, we did have Efren in here 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
When he was here doing my DJ spin, but
He's a nice dude.
He is. He's a super nice guy. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching, JT, I appreciate you, and I'll be emailing you back. All right, let's do this. Rock 102.1 KFMA, it's Beef Vegan Presents, and of course, we're in smack dab in the middle of the Summer Olympics, which is a lot of fun. And we like to have fun with the Olympics as well. And so I came up with an idea, like, why don't we award certain things, gold, silver, and metal, when it comes to different types of, like, products, foods, whatever. So I got Herb Stratford in studio, Mario, of course, and Rico. And so these are medal-worthy rankings. That's the name of this segment. And here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you 4 categories. You have to give me a gold, a silver, and a bronze. And one's going to be left off the podium.
All right.
Okay? So I'll start with you, Herb. First category, pizza toppings. Okay?
All right.
With that, the toppings are pepperoni, mushrooms, onions, pineapple. Who gets the gold? Who gets the silver? Who gets the bronze?
Pepperoni is gold.
Yep.
Onions is silver. And I got to go, my wife hates this, but pineapple for the bronze. I'm not a mushroom guy. I hate mushrooms. They're fungus. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. All right, Mari, what would you say?
Ditto.
Same thing.
I don't like mushrooms or pineapple on my pizza, right? So, but if I had to pick one, it would be the pineapple as the bronze. Otherwise, pepperoni, gold, onions, silver, exact same.
Nice.
Rico.
You plebs.
Yeah.
Gold would be pineapple.
No.
Silver, pepperoni, onion, bronze. And then same with Herb. I hate mushrooms.
Thank
Disgusting.
you.
Yes. Disgusting.
The panel
Slimy,
agrees.
flavorless.
Oh, the worst.
Ugh.
You guys are the worst. I wonder what the online troll sounds like. You know, that sounds like a troll move right there. Putting pineapple as gold. No way. These judges.
You can judge all you want.
I think you've been paid off by Dole.
I'm on the dole.
Yeah. So, I disagree with all you guys. I would definitely put pepperoni as gold. That's the one place we agree. And then mushrooms for silver and onions. Yeah, and that combination is a pretty solid combination as well. Pineapple is off the podium. That's my saying, but 2 out of 3 think that it's pepperoni, onions, and pineapple.
It's okay to be wrong.
No, okay.
It's okay to be wrong.
I know. Keep telling yourself that with pineapple being gold. All right, here's our next categories here. Best TV sitcoms. All right, who gets the gold? Who gets the silver?
Okay.
Who gets the bronze out of Friends, The Office, Seinfeld, Parks and Recreation? We'll start off with Rico on this one.
Number 1, Seinfeld.
Okay.
Number 2, Office. Number 3, Parks. Friends is off the list.
Okay. Yeah, that's a respectable judging right there. What do you say, Mari?
The Office, gold. Seinfeld, silver. Parks and Recreation, bronze. Off the list, Friends.
Okay. Ooh, Herb.
You know, I hate to sound like I'm just mimicking the panel, but I'm Office gold. I'm Seinfeld silver, and I'm Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec is bronze. Yeah.
No
And
Friends.
Yeah, no Friends. I got to tell you, and I've tried to watch Friends episodes later, like
Yes.
now, and I'm just like, oh, this is not good.
they don't hold up.
No,
That's
no.
the difference between the 3 that you guys mentioned, and this is the first time that we're 100% in agreeing in
Wow.
order. So gold goes to actually, there was a switch up. He put Office or Seinfeld as gold.
He did.
But so close. Yeah.
Friends just makes me mad watching it now because how could they afford those apartments?
Nah, I know. But
That's true.
the fact that The Office, Seinfeld, and Parks and Rec, they're basically timeless premises. And so, they're not dated by any means, and that's why you can continue to watch them. So I would put Office as gold, Seinfeld second, even though they were pioneers, and then Parks and Rec for sure.
And it's funny, I'll be on YouTube or something, and a suggestion will come up like best Dwight pranks or something, and like next thing I know, 2 hours have gone by, and I've watched a ton of Office clips,
Easy.
and they're still hysterical, and I'm like, oh, I love this one. Just keep watching.
I know.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
All right, final category here with 4 different nominees. Who gets the gold? Who gets the silver? Who gets the bronze? Top board games. All right, and we're gonna start off with Monopoly, and Scrabble, Clue, and Candyland. All right, so Monopoly, Scrabble, Clue, Candyland. Who gets the gold? Who gets the silver? Who gets the bronze? Mari
Scrabble
gets gold.
gets gold.
Okay.
And then Candyland gets silver, Clue gets bronze, and get Monopoly out of here.
Wow. That's controversial. And why? Why do you hate Monopoly so much?
It's boring. And it's so like you have
And
to
the
just
bankers
get so
always
lucky.
win.
I know.
Okay, all right.
No, thank you.
Okay, yeah, stop. Herb, what do you say?
I'm saying Monopoly, gold, Scrabble, silver, and Clue, bronze. Candyland, I just can't. No.
Well, she has little kids right now, so I
know.
knew Candyland was going to get a gold medal consideration.
Yeah.
Silver.
All right, it ended up getting silver, but all right, Rico.
Because I'm a classy man, Clue number 1,
Oh.
Oh.
Scrabble number 2,
Okay.
Candyland number 3, and get Monopoly out of here.
Again, I think you're just sucking up to Mari and stuff. She's going to be your friend whether you agree with her or not. She's still my friend. And
She said I have
completely
nice
disagree.
eyebrows.
I would say this. Monopoly, gold medal. Scrabble, silver, yes. And I do like Clue. I do like all the accessories with Clue. Fine, I'm giving it to Clue. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, old guys agree. That's the setup right there. So there you
I'm
go.
gonna beat you with a candlestick.
There's our Olympic rankings. We're gonna hit the reset. It's Rock 102.1 Camp May. Yeah, so it's fantastic.
Good
there.
stuff.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Herb.
yeah,
And thank you guys for
definitely.
watching. That was a little bonus stuff. We'll be back tomorrow with a pretty cool podcast broadcast and talk all things Comic-Con. Maybe even have some special guests pop up on the stream.